Lads, can I have your attention here for 1 second? But the reason we're here, first of all, I want to thank everybody who marched here today. And I'm not talking specifically about the TDs. I'm delighted that they chose to join us. But this march today is a people's march. That's what it's been since the very beginning. But lads, thank you very much for showing your public support of what we're doing. The reason we're here is because, and we're waiting out here, about 50 yards away from the entrance to the Dáil, is that Enda refused to meet us. But Stephen Donnelly has very kindly agreed to bring in the letter that we want delivered. And I'm just going to read the letter to you, because I don't have any speeches prepared or anything like that. And this is from the Ballyhea and Charlotte bondholder protest. And it's called Easy Decisions, Tough Decisions. And it's, we start, Dear Enda, easy decisions. Hit the young, cut the education budget. Hit the old, cut home health hours, attack the free travel pass. Hit the sick, cut the healthcare budget. Frontline staff and services badly affected, we all know they are. Hit the most vulnerable, cut the special needs right across the board. Hit the poor, introduce universal tax after universal tax, from increased VAT to home tax. Now we come to the tough decisions. Hit the political class, slash the numbers, salaries, allowances, pensions at national and local level. Hit the high earners, introduce even temporarily a third rate of tax. Hit the multinational corporations, increase again even temporarily a levy on the taxes. Hit the overpaid in the upper echelons of the public sector. We're not talking about frontline staff here, because every time anything is talked about with the public service, they talk about the holy trio that brought out the guards, the nurses and the teachers. And the trio I talk about are the special advisors, the upper echelon members of the public sector, and our consultants and people like them. They're the people that we want to get cut, and that's why the co-class agreement should be attacked. Pick the Irish Financial Services Centre. That's one of the many centres in which international money laundering and multinational tax avoidance is enabled, and where the only markets that now seem to matter, the money markets, live and thrive. Even a minimal tax on every transaction there would be a major boost to our coffers. Well said. Next, revisit and rewrite the licensing agreements for recovery of our oil and gas. Next, invest in public infrastructure, broadband, water distribution, roads, railways, schools. Next, reform the social welfare system. And this some of you mightn't like this, but we know there has to be a floor, and that floor should not be any lower than it is now. But whenever you have a floor, my friends, you need a ceiling. And there should be a ceiling on what comes into any house. And there should be some incentive made there as well. And the way to do this is to cut down what they're doing at the moment, that you can make the transition easily from being out of work to going back to work and not lose all your benefits and allowances. Finally, and this is the big one, take on the ECB. Expose them to the world for what they've done, enforcing on Ireland a bank bailout policy that even the Eurozone leadership now acknowledges has failed, and demand repayment to this state of the 69.6 billion, that's over 15,000 for every resident, which that policy has so far cost us. And I emphasise so far cost us, because believe me, those banks will be back to us. We're nearly there. Easy decisions and tough decisions. This is the letter to Enda. Since your election in late February 2011, and despite all the get tough pre-election promises and your hollow post-election spin, and by God are they masters of spin, be advised, this Fine Gael Labour coalition government has followed exactly the line of the failed Fianna Fáil Green government that you succeeded, and you're taking only, so far, the easy decisions. This was not a situation you inherited. They keep telling us this. An inheritance is a bequest. You requested this job. In fact, you demanded this job. And on the back of the promises you made, we gave you this job. Unless you were utterly incompetent, you knew what you were getting into. Now, 82 weeks into the job, which coincidentally is the same length of time that we've been protesting, 82 weeks we've been marching in Ballyhea, we're asking you, stop complaining and do your job. The Ballyhea Charleville Bank bondholder bailout process relates specifically to the final item in the above list. For 82 weeks we've been marching against that ECB enforced extortion of tens of billions from the Irish people. On October 1st, Monday week, for example, AIB, which we own 99.8%, pays an unguaranteed, unsecured bond of €1 million. We have absolutely no obligation under any treaty or anything else to pay a single cent of that money. This year, 2012, total bank bond payments will be just short of €20 billion. Next year, it's another €17 billion. In the years 2012, 13, 14, 15, it adds up to €55 billion. That's an average of nearly €14 billion a year leaving this economy. That's over 1/10 every year of our GNP. That's the lifeblood of the Irish economy being drained from us. The people are being
right, you're taking it on.
You're telling us you're taking the tough decisions. So I say, you know, let's see you take on the ECB. Get out from behind the coattails of Spain and Italy and do your own negotiating for your own people. If you're unable to do that, then the honourable thing to do is to leave the stage. At the end of June, you and your government announced a seismic shift. What we in Ballyhea and Charleville like to call the eruption of Mount Enda. Your Charleville was a bit devastated, he says. Well, you take that opening line from that statement that was issued by the Eurozone leaders, which is, we affirm that it is imperative to break the vicious circle between banks and sovereigns. That vicious circle imposed on us in a blatant abuse of its own financial muscle by the ECB has cost Ireland so far €69.6 billion. On our behalf, on behalf of the people who elected you to fight our cause in Europe, we demand that money back. We demand that the remaining promissory notes, all €30.6 billion of which was printed to pay off bondholders in 2 zombie banks, not a cent of which went to the Irish people, be destroyed. We demand that the billions destroyed from the 2 notes that we've already paid should be reprinted. We demand that the €21 billion that you've taken from the National Pension Reserve Fund to bail out our banks be repaid, either from the ESM or by allowing the Irish Central Bank to print that money. We demand that any outstanding bank debt-related loan from Europe be written off, and all interest that we have paid be reimbursed. We demand, and this is a big one, because this does not just apply to Ireland, we demand finally an end right across Europe to this odious practice of socialising private bank debt, because there is nothing more anti-social. Finally, I want you a couple of words, I think, through that Enda, and you'll be doing the job you promised to do, the job you were elected to do. That was your mandate. In a week in which 600,000 hours of home help hours are cut, a bond of €600 million was paid by Anglo. To the HSE, to Tough Riley, like those 600,000 hours were just a number, an expendable number. And I know this because I know some of the people involved. To everybody affected by that, every minute of every one of those hours is hugely important, is crucial. And that's what they have cut. And in the meantime, we're also paying this €1 billion guaranteed, unguaranteed bond. And I'm saying to Enda, if you can stand over this, are these the values for which you and your government want to be remembered? Stand up and fight, Enda. Stand up and fight, and all of us will be behind you. But stay hiding behind the coattails of Mariano Rajoy. And you don't just dishonour your pledge to this country, you dishonour your people. And it's signed by all the people who come up for the last few days. Thank you all very much.